For week number 2, because week 1 was flex mid laners, right? Aftershock abusers, tanks.
Yeah.
Now we have Zoe versus Yasuo, and it's also BDD saying, I didn't enjoy
Lots of vision here around the top side of the map as well, which is exactly where they want it. Given the fact that Smeb is the one without a flash. There's the flash into Stain. There to bring Smeb further back into the lane, and I have a feeling he's not going anywhere because picks up his axe, and he's going to continue slowing down this Scion. He'll be able to take care of some minions, but that is first blood going to Kingzone in the first that KT has missed out on.
Speaking of skirmishing, BDD and Pawn,
Yep,
the standard melee range man fight between Yasuo and Zoe.
Yep. And the exhaust just picked up off the ground as well, so that's no summoners down. As Kingzone, they had the bottom wave push, they had vision all through the bottom side jungle. A very, very...
And what we talked about with KT is synergies, right?
Yep.
2-bit, 3-bit combos, or they lose. Just like, well, they need a team fight with the right initiation, otherwise the enemy comp has siege, wave clear, etc. That should mean that when it comes to objectives with Kingzone in a lead, Kingzone should be first to set up. KT should be the roar of the Slayer.
Yeah.
Shelly actually loses orders. That might actually mean the turret lasts a couple of seconds longer, which you'll take in any case. Speaking of turrets lasting a while, this one's being wailed away upon.
Yeah, Score actually decides against it here as Smeb finds Kuz in his lane. Tusin's going to turn up as well.
Second turret, or the top turret fast enough, and finally, we had Ashe mid lane, potentially as a quarterback for moments like this. Ashe should be the winner here, but Pawn is pretty overextended.
Yeah, BDD going to easily be able to pick this one up. Zhonya's is going to go down, but there is nowhere that Pawn is going. Flashes actually, and has the heal, but it's a few extra buttons, and he is taken down, and that means KT has all the control. Score just waddles his way forward. And the portal jump, like you say, the interaction's a little bit frustrating, but you know exactly where he's going back, so that body slam was free, and Score just bops him on the face.
2 minutes later, do pick up that Drake. They're trying to keep KT away from mid lane here, and mid lane turret will be a nice little 1-2 combo.
Yeah, Trouble Bubble's going to stop Smeb from getting there in time to charge up this decimating smash, so that does mean that the tower is traded for the bottom outer. BDD getting some side lane work done as Yasuo is wont to do, but breaking over the
as
mid
fast
lane.
as possible.
Well, it certainly has been Rascal that's able to hold on to what lead he's had. Still bullying Smeb, still ahead by a hell of a lot of farm. 35 is going to be that number, but we look elsewhere, and BDD is approaching a 20k lead. Rascal does get that turret, that is great, but look at the 30 CS that
to a
Gango's...
point, but not in terms of gold lead. KT have played the sort of game that would be a 2,000 gold disadvantage in the past. It's become a 5,000 with things like turret plating. And it makes you wonder if all this, say, farming, where they look at the scoreboard and say, okay, we're not that far behind. They're actually more far behind than they would have been.
that one, everyone. It's all a bit confusing how it works, but just means that he's been farming a lot and took so much money from those turret plates. Got an entire turret. First turret bonus gold of about 100 gold, but on top of that, about 600 for all those plates. Really crazy stuff.
They're pushing from behind on the Yasuo. Gets Yasuo farm, but loses you map objectives. That's the inner
the
turret.
thick of it. Has to flash to get his way out. In fact, everyone is flashing. Tusin is going to be the one that has the most trouble, but Stand Beside Me is off cooldown. Party cast going to come in. That's Smeb with a 3-man knockup, but they're just putting the right people forward. Arrow is going to land. The slows are good, but another hook is going to come in, and Gango grabs the first kill of this very extended fight. Pawn does have the stopwatch, but it's not enough. Zhonya's Hourglass now on cooldown, but his life is forfeit. Where Smeb was, but doesn't happen. Snowflower misses that hook there as well.
And that's Kingzone returning to Kesper Cup, where they had good early games and then started to make mistakes. Kingzone pushing out.
In trouble, walks around the wind wall this time, and they get the Glacial Fissure, but into the back line. That's the 3-man knockup. So much damage comes in as BDD just locks them all away. Pawn decimated, and KT get that team fight.
They get on the second time. One mulligan.
2-kill game. They're still 3,000 gold behind, but they can catch up now. There's so much standing gold on this map.
And I can't even isolate which of the obvious team-wide knockups it was that started the party. But it's all about BDD closing the party. 006 Secret Agent.
Flashes being on cooldown certainly is what helps KT out. They'll take their first dragon after taking down that Baron and looking for Smeb. Blade of the Ruin King goes down, but the choo-choo train has left the station. Things are going to be okay. So they're trying to get this pressure down, but 2 waves being pushed. There is a double cannon wave, and BDD is just running it straight up the bottom lane. Mid lane is now occupied by the rest of KT.
Siege comp with Baron. How can you beat it? Siege comp against Baron. Well, you're getting split to death by BDD. Level 16 in the side lane. Ashe's recall was delayed as well, but soon should be grouped. They get so much. I believe Griffin versus Kingzone Dragon X and might have actually been a different match. It was in the Worlds qualifiers where basically every Yasuo Q was flashed away from, every knock-up was flashed away from. You need your flash to get away from the synergy.
Free hitting here on the top side. I think the ultimate
Smeb's
didn't
dead.
actually land there, but Smeb is going to go down. Zombie Scion. Got a lot he can do.
Then again, things are good for Kingzone. So we're really looking for Zoe versus Gragas in a team fight in terms of which of those really big team fighting impacting abilities, like that initial burst of the Paddle Star or the Trouble Bubble hit, or whether it's just the cast that dominates for score.
Yeah, exactly.
More reliable when there's no summoner. They're starting onto the Baron. They've got a lot of vision in this area. I think KT have to react.
Yep, Score running pretty damn quickly as now the train has left the station. In he goes as BDD gets exhausted to begin this one. Kingzone haven't actually offered too much back here as Disdain is used, but Rascal's still going to get taken down, and now Tucson running for the hills. Deft trying to get the auto attacks down, but Gango flashes on top of him. It's a double kill for BDD as the Lantern Ride is going to continue the party. Pawn's going to go down. It's the Guardian Angel for BDD. So much of his health comes back, and now look at the bottom lane. Kingzone's bottom lane in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, just waiting to die at the end of the fight, and Deft is going to get crushed by Smeb, his former teammate.
The 2v5 is real at the end. Thanks for the zoom in there. TPs are down, and KT Rolls just want to end the game before Kingzone can respawn.
Yep, Smeb just makes his way down towards the bottom side of the map with that summoner spell. Will break open the base, and everybody else is just beelining towards this mid lane inhibitor turret. KT just want to continue it. It's the bottom lane. That's all they need. They just need a few minions. They can tank things up with their gigantic Scion. And this should be the end of the game, unless Cuz can do something. I mean, Rascal's death timer not too long either.
Let's watch it. It is 5 members of KT.
Yeah, they've got a lot of damage as well. You can see that tower just evaporated as now Gango trying to get the damage across. Cuz is going to fall down, and Rascal should be soon to follow. Does go into the grinder. As there's the 4-man fear at the same time. Tucson doesn't quite land the ultimate, but Gango has to go so far to get on top of that lantern. He's still burning down. Last tick, not enough. And Kingzone will be able to defend their base if Smeb will eventually go down. Teleport here from Deft actually towards the top side as they're trying to get more back, and there we go. Pawn gets the ace, and Kingzone, it's their turn to try and rush towards the base.
Double TP tat, minimum get an inhibitor here. Death timer's pretty long, 25 seconds on the Gragas. I assume that was just picked up off the floor there from Pawn. They're actually going to look at the Baron as they push out the minions, and they're going to take the Baron. So no inhibitor. Let's watch the replay.
Pawn, the Curial Scimitar there as well, just waiting for the GA, and then Deft has his 6 items on this Ashe completed. And they've got minion waves now just funneling in over and over again. Kingzone will have a little bit more money, but is it going to be able to contend with this 2 Drake Elder? Not entirely sure, because KT's team fight we've already seen so many times. Doesn't matter how far behind they are. If it works, it works.
Hard to see a final item GA.
Yeah, the train does come in now. It's going to land onto just Rascal, but that's not the target that they want. Once again, Tucson throws his ultimate into a wind wall. That is not what you want, and KT still are so incredibly healthy. Pawn portal jumping to try and get himself around, but they do decide just to take down the Urgot with the last breath. Gango in trouble as the Paddle Stars come through, and Kingzone are still in amongst this fight. The flash through from Pawn, but he's unable to connect onto Gango in the backline. Snowflower in trouble, and now it's the Ashe who has to deal with all of the low health members, but they're finally falling. The damage is still here, and Deft picks up 2. 1 goes over to Pawn, who's now having a field day. Gango is in vision as BDD, does use the cleanse to get himself out of the way. And now they have to go for this 2 versus 2. It's mid laner and AD for both sides. And there's the wind wall. That could be the trouble now as BDD's playing nicely.
He's in again!
One does have another ultimate, but Deft gets the cheeky auto, and Gango now finds himself 1 versus 2 and trying to get rid of these minion waves. This game is so incredibly close. It's been crazy, it's been weird, but damn, it's been exciting as Gango finally goes down, and that's well.
Pawn can't get an assassination, but low health bars, when they finally get the first target, notice that there was so low threat onto Deft, he cleanses and then is hitting multiple people. It's pray it. Well, it's all over again. The ability to frontline here in the previous fight, his positioning levels above Gango, his replacement on KT. It's only game number 1, but you can see how important it is, both for their seasons and against their old orgs, for these players to pop off.
Yep, Trouble Bubble not going to land. The arrow does hit, though, as Score might get picked off. The autos are there, and Tucson is the one that secures it. Kingzone, they finally found their pick and now want to take down the base.
Dead time is a minute. What else can they get here? Can they just try to end? KT will have to all in to stop it.
Yep, the culling's going to come in, but that's not going to kill any of these minions as he has to get himself the hell out of there. Cuz still throwing the undertows through, and look at the damage onto these structures.
You're gonna have to try something now.
Yep, Nexus turrets are going to be the next to go down as Smeb has such a huge health bar, but who damn cares? A Snowflower lands the Q, but it's just not enough. The last breath is onto 3 members, but he's just going to get blown up. Rascal flashing forward, in goes Cuz as well as Gango gets soloed out by the jungler, and I don't know how it happened, but Kingzone came back from the brink, came back from a Nexus under fire and 2 inhibitors down, and win game 1.
Kingzone in the clutch, get it done, but oh, was it close against KT Rolls. They thought they'd had it. They rushed at that Nexus, but the Nexus doesn't go down, and then Kingzone, 2 different skirmishes in a row, outplay KT Rolster and find the game 1 victory.